Title: Cyber Baddies Recess, Juvenile Data Served Hot and Messy by Ransomware Rogues. TLDR. Digital Desperados, the faceless villains of the cyber world, are swiping confidential files from schools and airing the dirty laundry in public. From student psychiatric histories to intimate assault cases, these lunch money bullies are not just stealing the lunch, but also spilling it, causing an emotional tempest in a teacup. The question begging to be asked: where's the cyber sheriff when you need one? Once upon a time, in a reality much too real, the Minneapolis public schools learned the hard way that no secret is safe in the digital realm. A victim of a ruthless ransomware raid, over 300,000 files were splashed across the internet like graffiti on a restroom wall when the school decided not to cough up the $1 million ransom. It turns out, unlike the fairy tale villains, these ransomware rogues don't play fair. The stolen booty wasn't just embarrassing lunch money receipts. Oh no. It was graphic descriptions of sexual assaults, suicide attempts, psychiatric records, and much more that were once safely locked away in filing cabinets. Can you imagine your most sensitive secret, the one you whispered in hushed tones to the school counselor, being bled out through a cyber bullhorn for all to hear? This, my dear friends, is the brave new world of ransomware attacks, where the real hurt isn't in the bucks coughed up or the premium on cyber insurance. It's in the psychological scars left behind by the theft of your private world. Now, we're not trying to play blame games here. But let's be real. Schools, especially in a post-pandemic world, are a bit like those deer stuck in the headlights when it comes to cyber threats. The cash-strapped districts struggle to keep up with the sophisticated threats, and by the time they know it, the data are long gone. Here's a food for thought: if there was a federal law to require notification to individual victims from schools, would it be any different? Let's bring it closer to home. Imagine getting a call from a reporter, telling you that your sensitive documents were exposed online. Not your school, not an official, but a reporter. This is exactly what happened to 6 families, left in the dark about the exposure of their children's sexual assault case files. Okay, let's slow down a minute. What happens after a school realizes it's been hit by ransomware? Well, turns out, it's a bit like realizing you left the back door open after the thieves have cleaned out the house. The Los Angeles Unified School District, for instance, realized this bitter truth on a Labor Day weekend. Their private paperwork of over 1,900 former students, including psychological evaluations and medical records, was dumped online like a discarded school project. And it's not just Minneapolis or Los Angeles. This wave of cyberbullying has washed over San Diego, Des Moines, and Tucson, Arizona, leaving them drenched in controversy and criticism for dragging their feet on notifying victims. The ransomware epidemic has affected over 5 million U.S. students, and by the end of 2021, nearly 1 in 3 U.S. districts had been breached. And yet, when it comes to bolstering cybersecurity or even basic damage control, the response has been as slow as a sloth on sedatives. We all want schools to be secure, but are we ready to put our money where our mouth is? Let's not forget, the repercussions are not just now, they echo into the future too. Those personal documents dumped online could potentially impact the lives and careers of the victims. A stolen file exposed how a middle schooler had attempted suicide and been in and out of the psychiatric hospital a dozen times in a year. Another revealed the medical history of a 16-year-old with autism. How would these revelations impact their future? How would you feel if it were you? It's time we all face the fact that the schoolyard bullies have gone digital. We're not in a John Hughes movie, we're in a dystopian thriller, and it's time to step up our game. So, my fellow netizens, as we draw this digital discourse to a close, we must ponder, is it high time we demanded our schools to equip themselves better against these cyberbullies? And at what point do we stop and ask ourselves, is this the price we pay for the march of technology?